When we think of World War I, we often picture the grim trenches of the Western Front, a European nightmare that raged long before America joined the fight. But the story of the United States and the Great War is a fascinating journey from determined neutrality to becoming a decisive global power. For nearly 3 years, America watched from the sidelines. President Woodrow Wilson even won re-election in 1916 with the slogan, "He kept us out of war." But behind this official stance, the US was already deeply entangled. American banks were lending enormous sums to the Allies, and its factories were churning out weapons and supplies for the war effort. The country was an economic partner, if not a military one. So, what tipped the scales? It wasn't just one single event. The sinking of the Lusitania in 1915, with 128 Americans lost, sparked outrage. Then, in 1917, the Zimmermann telegram was intercepted. This secret message from Germany proposed a military alliance with Mexico, promising to help them reclaim Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona if the US entered the war. It was a shocking revelation. But beyond these headlines, there was a growing fear that the German victory would upend the world order, threatening both democracy and America's own economic stability. The too proud to fight sentiment was replaced by a call to arms. In April 1917, America declared war. The nation undertook a massive mobilization, transforming a small, professional army into a multi-million-man fighting force. This was the birth of the American Expeditionary Forces, or AEF, led by the formidable General John J. Pershing. Pershing was adamant about one thing: his troops, nicknamed Doughboys, would fight as a distinct American army. He resisted immense pressure to simply plug his men into depleted British and French units. This decision was crucial. It forged a new sense of American military identity and national pride on the battlefields of Europe. The AEF was a cross-section of America, and its story is filled with incredible tales of courage and contradiction. Take the 369th Infantry Regiment, better known as the Harlem Hellfighters. These African-American soldiers were some of the most decorated and feared fighters on the front. They spent more time in continuous combat than any other American unit. But here's the bitter irony: they had to fight under French command because their own country, in the grip of segregation, refused to let them serve alongside white troops. They proved their patriotism and valor beyond all doubt, only to return home to the same systemic prejudice they had left behind. And it wasn't just men on the front lines. Have you heard of the Hello Girls? These were bilingual female telephone switchboard operators who served near the front, managing crucial military communications. They faced the same dangers as soldiers, connecting generals to the trenches under artillery fire. Their work was absolutely essential to the war effort. Yet, when they came home, the US government denied them veteran status for decades, arguing they were civilian contractors. It was a long, hard fight for them to receive the recognition they had earned. Back on the home front, the war changed everything. A wave of intense patriotism, sometimes bordering on hysteria, swept the nation. German-American communities faced suspicion and persecution. German-language newspapers were shut down. German music was banned from concert halls, and even food names were changed. Sauerkraut became Liberty cabbage and Frankfurters became hot dogs. The war effort also spurred the Great Migration, as hundreds of thousands of African Americans moved from the rural South to northern industrial cities to fill jobs in war factories. This demographic shift would have profound effects on American society for generations to come. Women also stepped into new roles, taking on jobs in factories and farms that had been vacated by men heading to war. This newfound economic importance gave a powerful boost to the women's suffrage movement, helping to pave the way for the 19th Amendment, which granted women the right to vote just a couple of years after the war ended. The war truly acted as a catalyst, accelerating social changes that were already simmering beneath the surface. The climax of America's military involvement was the Muzargan Offensive in the fall of 1918. This was the largest and deadliest battle in American history, involving over 1.2 million US troops. For 47 grueling days, the doughboys fought through dense forests and fortified German positions. The sheer scale and ferocity of the American attack helped to finally break the stalemate on the Western Front, pushing the German army to its breaking point and leading directly to the armistice on November 11, 1918. But victory came at a staggering cost. The soldiers who returned were often changed forever. They brought back the invisible wounds of what was then called shell shock, what we now know as PTSD. Many suffered from the debilitating effects of poison gas, a horrific new weapon of the war. They had fought in the war to end all wars, but the peace that followed was fragile, and the world they returned to was not the same. The American story of World War I is rich with these individual experiences. We have the Choctaw Code Talkers, Native American soldiers who used their tribal language to transmit coded messages that the Germans could never decipher. We have the brave nurses who battled not only battlefield injuries but also the deadly 1918 flu pandemic, which swept through army camps and trenches like wildfire. These stories remind us that America's entry into the war was not just about grand strategy or turning the tide of battle. It was about the young, diverse nation finding its place on the world stage, filled with both moments of incredible heroism and deep, painful contradictions. Understanding this pivotal moment means looking beyond the generals and the maps. It means seeing the faces of the hellfighters, the hello girls, the code talkers, and the millions of ordinary doughboys who served. Their sacrifices, their struggles, and their triumphs helped forge the modern American century. It's a powerful reminder that every name etched on a war memorial represents a unique story, a life that shaped the world we live in today. Thanks for watching. And if you found this story compelling, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history.